LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
You are my sunshine.
Hold up. Did LeBron James just low-key line up his final move and none of us noticed? My glorious LeBron Bon King, the one I would die for? The sunshine of my life is 40, still cranking out all-star numbers. And he just made the weirdest contract play of his career. Lakers fans, Knicks diehards, casual hoopheads, grab your snacks because LeBron might be suiting up somewhere very different before he calls game on season 23. Before we keep going, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Court Vision Hooper so you know what's going down in NBA news. 23 NBA seasons at an elite level is unheard of. Yet instead of coasting through a Hollywood farewell tour, LeBron has dropped a contract curveball, opting into a $52.6 million player option rather than testing free agency. It's the first time he's ever pulled that move, and it's got everyone asking whether this single pen stroke is a masterclass chess play that could launch him out of Los Angeles and straight into Madison Square Garden for one last blockbuster run. LeBron isn't limping into year 23 the way most 40-year-olds would. Last season, he still delivered a vintage stat line, 26 points, 7 boards, 7 assists on smart, efficient shooting. Whether it's hyperbaric chambers, strict sleep schedules, or some top-secret Space Jam water bottle, the man is defying every mileage chart we've got. Contenders across the league still view him as someone who can swing a playoff series, and if there's anything LeBron loves more than a big stage, it's controlling the narrative of how that stage is lit. Opting in shocked the entire NBA ecosystem because, historically, LeBron always opts out to keep maximum flexibility and rewrite the market on his terms. By opting in, he locked down the full bag and preserved his no-trade clause, the closest thing basketball has to a personal GPS. Free agency, by comparison, was a wasteland. The only squad with the cap space to pay him properly was Brooklyn, and they're knee-deep in a rebuild. So Bron took the money, secured control of his destination down the road, and placed the ball squarely in the Lakers' court. Suddenly, LA has to impress their superstar or risk watching him walk. Because of that massive salary slot, the Lakers now hover above the cap and right under the luxury tax line. Their big spending tools have shrunk to the mid-level exception, the biannual and vet minimum flyers. More dollar store than Rodeo Drive. If LeBron had taken a modest discount, we can pause for laughter here, the front office could have chased premium upgrades. A stretchy 5 who complements Anthony Davis, a switch-everything wing, maybe even a third star. Instead, Rob Pelinka is stuck playing salary cap Tetris while LeBron retains ultimate veto power. It's the textbook definition of leverage. The Lakers must win now or watch the face of their franchise author a dramatic exit. Enter Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime friend and super agent, delivering cryptic soundbites on ESPN about evaluating what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. Translation: fix the roster or we're packing. Shams Charania amplified the buzz, reporting that James's camp doubts whether the current Lakers core can seriously contend. Fans quickly pointed out the irony. LA just stumbled into Luka Doncic after one of the weirdest trades in recent memory, yet frustration still swirls. To many, it feels like a calculated public squeeze designed to force the Lakers' hand. But whatever you call it, the noise is real, and it's growing louder by the day. General manager Rob Pelinka is now sprinting through the offseason like Wile E. Coyote in extra speed sneakers. He needs a center who can stretch the floor, 2 reliable two-way wings, and maybe a miracle caffeine drip for Anthony Davis's ankles. Meanwhile, LeBron, glass of Lobos tequila in hand, can watch the scramble from a serene Malibu patio. If Pelinka whiffs, LA risks pairing AD with a 40-year-old legend and a bench crew built from discount bin signings. Every phone call, every whisper, every late-night front office Slack ping matters, and the pressure cooker has never been hotter in El Segundo. Shift focus to the Eastern Conference, where the throne sits weirdly unguarded. Giannis is rehabbing, Philly's wobbling, the Knicks are talented but inconsistent, Boston is forever tinkering, and Miami remains perpetually dangerous but hardly invincible. Compared to the Western gauntlet of Jokic, Luka, and the Wolves' Twin Towers, the East looks like a smooth-sailing cruise. LeBron's legacy math is straightforward. One more ring would tilt GOAT debates in his favor for an entire generation, and an easier playoff path makes that calculus look downright attractive. The hometown story sounds romantic, but reality is messy. The Cavaliers would have to jettison sizable contracts, think Jared Allen or Darius Garland, to fit LeBron's salary. Luka owns the ball-dominant role, and doubling up on heliocentric engines can muddy the offense. Cleveland adores its favorite son, yet another homecoming risks tarnishing the statue-worthy nostalgia that already exists. Sometimes, the sequel is better left in the pitch meeting. Cue New York. The Knicks represent basketball's brightest spotlight and biggest business opportunity. Madison Square Garden hasn't witnessed a championship celebration since vinyl records topped the charts, and owner James Dolan loves nothing more than a headline that sells tickets. Jalen Brunson is blossoming into an all-NBA guard. The roster is flexible, and the war chest of picks remains relatively intact. A package built around an OG Anunoby sign-and trade or Karl Anthony Towns plus future firsts could tempt the Lakers, while LeBron would walk into the ultimate legacy play. Deliver a banner to Manhattan and punch an instant ticket to basketball immortality. Imagine the back page of the New York Post, King of New York. It's seductive, cinematic, and exactly the kind of third-act twist LeBron has mastered throughout his career. A Knicks blockbuster would reverberate like an arena-shaking dunk. The Lakers, suddenly relieved of LeBron's cap hit, might pivot to an Anthony Davis-centric timeline and scour the market for Luka companions. The Knicks would sacrifice depth but sell out every home game before the ink even dries. Western contenders, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, would breathe easier without LeBron lurking each spring. Television executives would throw confetti as Knicks-centered national broadcasts explode. And most crucially, the legacy conversation would hit a fever pitch. Four-time champ is one thing. Brought titles to Miami, Cleveland, Los Angeles, and New York is another. That narrative would ripple through barbershops and podcast feeds for decades. Of course, none of this is risk-free. LeBron will be 41 by the time the Garden lights flicker for Game 1. Father Time remains undefeated, and mileage eventually matters. The Knicks would sacrifice assets and depth in a deal, potentially leaving LeBron and Brunson to shoulder an enormous load. Tom Thibodeau's grind-heavy culture could clash with LeBron's data-driven load management philosophy. New York media can devour even the thickest skin. A 3-game losing skid might trigger back-page fireworks. Yet LeBron's entire career has thrived under brighter-than-bright spotlights. And this gamble might be the exact adrenaline jolt he craves to finish on his own terms.
So what should fans watch? First, circle every Lakers roster move between now and training camp. If Pelinka lands a high-impact starter, or 2 perfect glue guys, LeBron might cool the relocation talk. Second, keep an eye on Eastern Conference whispers. Beat writers in New York are already sniffing out anonymous quotes. Third, listen closely whenever Rich Paul hits a microphone. Subtle language like, "We'll see what happens next," can be code for "start the trade machine." Fourth, highlight the February trade deadline on your mental calendar. No window invites blockbuster chaos quite like mid-season panic. And finally, watch LeBron's social feeds. One Statue of Liberty emoji could melt the NBA's corner of the internet in seconds. Here's the bottom line. LeBron's decision to opt in wasn't just a financial footnote. It was a live grenade rolled under the league's biggest storylines. Whether he rides into the sunset wearing purple and gold, or lights up Broadway in orange and blue, the king is making sure he writes the script. So tap that like button if you're hyped, drop your next team prediction in the comments, and smash subscribe, because we'll be tracking every rumor, every Woj bomb, and every Rich Paul meme until LeBron's last dance is finally confirmed. This is Court Vision Hooper. And remember, basketball never sleeps, especially when the GOAT debate is still wide open. Peace.